So guys, we have another week for another very weak week at the box office. I know Black Panther, but Black Panther made $67 million, but it's still a big drop off from the first day, from the first week of the movie. This movie is still way below. No, it's still below the average movie. The average movie that made the same amount of money as Black Panther would have made $300 million by now, and this movie is, at 238 million. 200. It's 287 million. They haven't updated domestic box office. Yeah, they haven't updated domestic box office for some reason. I do not know why, but they haven't updated domestic box office. But this movie has not made 300 million, which means it's still doing poorly rigs wise for a type of its movie. It's doing worse than the first Black Panther, of course. And yeah, they haven't updated its domestic sales, but yeah, it's a 280 million. So that means internationally it's still doing around 30 million worse than the first movie. It is doing 30 million worse to the first movie. So this movie's doing still $30 million worse internationally. It's doing way worse than the first movie. Obviously, we can compare it to the first movie. It is doing way worse than the first movie. On day 10 of Black Panther Wakanda Forever versus Black Panther. Black Panther made $400 million. Wakanda Forever hasn't even passed $300 million yet, but Black Panther passed $400 million. And Black Panther went on its way to make another $300 million. I think Black Panther's ratings will work like this. It'll pass the $400 million mark and stay around $400 million mark like Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness did. It is doing on par with Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness at the box office. It might actually slightly outsell Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness at the domestic box office. But if the movie underperforms the domestic total by 40 million, which it has been doing, by 40 million, because they have not updated the worldwide box office. If they continue if it's still another 40 million, if the international box office underperforms by 50 million to domestic sales, it makes around $420 million, but underperforms internationally by 50. Okay, the movie is gonna make around $750 million. That's not too good for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. It's not gonna make that much money at the box office. It'll make a similar amount of money to Thor and Thunder, which Thor and Thunder did better internationally than it did domestically, almost the polar opposite of Black Panther. It's doing better domestically, but it's doing way worse internationally at the box office. So, yeah, that's the first. And we're gonna talk about the other movies as well, But Black Panther is still not gonna make $1 billion. It doesn't have the rigs to hit $1 billion as well. So, yeah, it doesn't have the rigs to hit $1 billion. The Menu, a movie that literally nobody cares about. It has made $15 million, but again, this is not really a big movie. It was not really hyped up. It's a non-franchise movie that if it was 5 years ago, this would have made $40 million, no question. But again, this is the modern box office, so people just don't give movies a chance anymore. As well, and The Menu is a victim of that. Next is the Chosen 3 episodes, season 1 and 2. I have no idea what the hell this is about. Oh, it's about Jesus. But yeah, this movie this is not really a movie. They just released this in the theaters. Black Adam, the box office for this movie, I don't think this movie has the legs to secure making money. They spent too much money on this movie, as I said at the beginning. I know people go, but it had a big opening. No, it didn't have that. It didn't have a big enough opening to secure money, to secure profitability for this movie. It's still a negative, $144 million worldwide, which is not too great for this movie whatsoever. Next is Ticket to Paradise, another movie that didn't really do all too well. Actually, this movie has done pretty well. It's at $10 million profit now. So yeah, pretty good for this movie, and pretty good for a movie that's not part of a franchise, obviously. She said, no one's watched this movie. I already talked about this movie. But yeah, this movie is garbage. No one wants to see it. It's Me Too garbage. Okay? Nobody cares about these types of movies. Okay? Nobody cares. I guess Hollywood will realize this. Okay? No one cares about C Said. Nobody cares about these types of movies. The box office failures to box office flops. This movie's international sales is actually inaccurate because this movie doesn't release in Spain until January. So this movie is a massive box office failure at the box office as well. So yeah, this movie is not going to make money as well. This movie has a $32 million budget and it needs to make around $80 million to break even. Which means this movie has lost at least $77 million at the worldwide box office. Okay, that's abysmal, and they're telling this is like the big release, like Wow Wow Crocodile, but nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch the Me Too garbage, okay? Next is Wow Wow Crocodile again, and that's the disappointment of a movie. I thought this movie would make at least around $60, $70 million domestically. It would tie people over to the next big movie, but really did not do that. It kind of bombed at the box office. This movie needs to make like $125 million to break even, like The Woman King, and it's not gonna do that. Next is Smile. This movie has made a lot of money, $214 million worldwide. This movie has made a lot of money, but even then, yeah, this movie is still a massive, profitable movie. Yeah. Next is Disiyam. That's an Indian movie. It has made $1 million domestically. Pray for the Devil. This movie's out of the box office starts already. $44 million. Again, I don't know the budget for this movie. So yeah. And then we have some other movies as well. So yeah, another pretty weak box office besides Black Panther release gain a second weekend. So yeah, that's basically all this video here. Goodbye.